I welcome all of you to this year's Founders' Day ceremony. This day commemorates the zeal, the vision, and determination of our founder, Padma Bhushan T.A. Pai. This annual celebration affords us to reflect on the endeavors that were persevered relentlessly, giving a zealous thought a long-lasting foundation. To begin with, I request Professor R.C. Natarajan, Director, TAPME, to kindly escort our guest, Dr. R. Balasubramaniam, and our trustee and governing council member, Dr. Shantaram, onto the dais. I also request you, gentlemen, to kindly light the lamp and offer a floral tribute to mark the commencement of this evening's ceremony. Grace is what keeps us. Grace is courage, wisdom, and light. I invite Ms. Niharika, Ms. Madhura, and Ms. Priyanka to lead us in prayer. Kindly arise for the invocation.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Avasishyate Harihi Om Harihi Om Harihi Om Ya Kundentu Tusharahara Dhavala Ya Shubhravastra Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara Ya Shveta Padmasana Ya Brahmachuda Shankara Prabhritibihi Devai Sada Pujita Saman Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Jatyapaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, ladies. May I now request Dr. Shantaram, trustee and governing council member, to kindly say a few words about our founder.
Honorable Dr. Balasubramaniam, Dr. Natarajan, and all the friends who have gathered here for this great occasion of the Founders' Day as well as the 32nd T.A. Pai Memorial Lecture. It may not be out of place to talk a few words about our founder, Mr. T.A. Pai. Now, perhaps none of us would have been here but for his foresight and forethought of sowing that seed for this institution which is being called after him. Originally, he called this as Manipal Institute of Management. Perhaps if you think of Manipal, we can never think of Manipal but for the two great individuals. One is the Dr. T.M. Pai, who actually thought of the whole concept of Manipal itself in this particular rural area, and Sri T.A. Pai. T.A. Pai is none other than the nephew of Dr. T.M. Pai, eldest son of the elder brother of Dr. T.M. Pai. Now, T.A. Pai, even from the beginning, had perhaps the leadership qualities and always thinking of doing something better. Perhaps he had imbibed this idea from his father, Sri Upendra Pai. After his early education, Mr. T.A. Pai graduated from Sydenham College and obtained the commerce degree. Now, by that time, Dr. T.M. Pai, along with his brother, Sri Upendra Pai, had already established the SyndicateBank, and Dr. T.M. Pai wanted T.A. Pai to join hands with him in the development of this institution. So, T.A. Pai shaped that particular institution, ascended from the managerial post up to the chairman post, and at that particular time, he was requested by the Food Corporation of India, which was established. They wanted him to be the chairman. Now, Mr. T.A. Pai always accepted challenges. He accepted this challenge and established that institution there, and later on, he was also a chairman of Life Insurance Corporation of India. By this time, Madam Indira Gandhi wanted him to join her cabinet. Actually, he headed as a cabinet minister of two great ministries of railways and industries in different periods, and after that he returned back to his native place, and again he was in charge of the bank. Now, at that particular time, he wanted to establish, that is, in the year of 1980, Mr. T.A. Pai thought of starting a management institution in this rural area of Manipal, especially for the rural management. Perhaps he never thought this institution will grow to present height. He wanted the rural youth must get an opportunity to get the quality education and management. So she thought of that idea. But actually, the institution, though she sowed the seed, it became a reality after his death. Because Mr. T.A. Pai's lifespan was very short. We lost him at the tender age of 59. He never even completed 60. His end was a very sudden affair. He had participated in one of the functions. We had partaken food with him. And next morning, we heard that he is no more. But later on, after his death, step by step, this institution was developed. And we thought it is befitting to call this baby after him. That is how now this is called T.A. Pai Management Institute. So that is the saga of Sri Tonse Anantapai. T.A. Pai means Tonse Anantapai, and you have to rever. We have to pay homage on this. We have to remember him. That is why I said, but for him, none of us would have been here in this auditorium for this function of the Founders' Day of your institution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. TAPME has come a long way in the last 3 decades, thanks to the vision of Sri Padma Bhushan T.A. Pai. TAPME will always remain indebted to his enterprising endeavors, without which this day would not have been a reality. I now request Professor Natarajan to deliver the welcome address.
Respected Chief Guest, Sri Balasubramaniam, respected Dr. Shantaram, respected special guests, faculty colleagues, members of the press, and my dear students. It's my honor to welcome you all to this special day, which originally could have been held on 17th, but for the technical reasons, you could hold it only on 28th of this month. If one thinks a little more seriously, the Founders' Day that we celebrate should go beyond just TAPME, but should become a Founders' Day of Manipal itself. Dr. Shantaram spoke about 2 luminaries, Dr. T.M.A. Pai and Dr. T.A. Pai. Maybe in future, sir, we might think of the Founders' Day as a combination of, in memory of both the personalities, so that this is the day when we reminisce and recall their vision and their contributions, not only to this place, but through this place to the entire globe. Because today, if you talk about Manipal, Manipal is known throughout the world. So to this August function, I welcome you all once again. And the topic of the day is something very close to both Dr. T.M.A. Pai and Sri T.A. Pai, which is human and social capital, though they never used those terms themselves because they were not what most of the doctors used to say, management specialists, but they did practice those terms in their endeavors. I welcome you, everyone, and welcome you all. Have a great day.
On behalf of TAPME, Team TAPME, I request Sushmita to kindly present our chief guest, Dr. Balasubramaniam, with a bouquet. I request Charu to please present a bouquet to Dr. Shantaram. Thank you, ladies. The Long Service Award was initiated last year in recognition of true dedication and commitment at TAPME. This year, we have 3 recipients. I request Dr. Shantaram to kindly felicitate the awardees. Our first awardee is Mrs. Sujata K., Senior Program Officer, in charge Quality and Compliance. Mrs. Sujata joined TAPME on 13th December 1984, and in the last 30 years of committed service, she served as a team member of the PGP office and the admission committee. She is currently with the ASESB committee. TAPME appreciates your commitment and diligence, ma'am. Wishing you all the best. Our next recipient is Mrs. Jyoti Nayak, Office Superintendent. Mrs. Jyoti joined the TAPME family on 1st October 1994. In her 20 years of dedicated service, she's been a part of the eGPX, the e-governance program at TAPME, and is presently with the admissions committee. We wholeheartedly appreciate your good work. Wish you all the best. We have Mrs. Baby, Junior Officer Support. Having joined us on 1st August 1994, Mrs. Baby has been an integral part of housekeeping at TAPME for the last 2 decades. We truly appreciate your hard work and support. Wish you all the best, Mrs. Baby. Ladies and gentlemen, I request you to give them a good round of applause. Efforts such as these have always been the silent driver of success for any institution. Our chief guest for today is Dr. R. Balasubramaniam, a development activist by choice and a physician by qualification. He is a Harvard graduate in public administration and an alumnus of BITS Pilani. Highly influenced by the teaching of Swami Vivekananda, he founded the Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, SVYM, on the principles of Ahimsa, Satya, Seva and Tyaga at a very young age of 19. Today, SVYM has made tangible impact as India's leading development NGO and runs hospitals, schools, teachers training and development centers, including institutes for leadership development. SVYM runs more than 50 projects across the state of Karnataka and also has centers in the United States of America and the United Kingdom. With 30 years of unrestrained service for the rural and tribals in the forests of India, Dr. Balu, as he is fondly addressed, initiated the Grassroots Research and Advocacy Movement, GRAAM, in Mysore. Dr. Balasubramaniam is a recipient of numerous international, national, and state-level awards for his contribution to the rural society and its development. He is a resource person for leadership studies at the Harvard School, Frank Rhodes Professor at Cornell University, USA, and a faculty of IIMB. He is a Tata Scholar, a Mason Fellow of Harvard Kennedy School, and a Fellow at the Hauser Center for Nonprofits, Harvard University. He has donned the responsibilities of Vigilance Director, assisting the Lok Ayukta in investigating into the maladministration and corruption in health sector and the PDS. He's been a consultant to many national and international agencies, including World Bank, health, education, social, and development sectors. An inspired individual, an encouraged activist, a passionate thinker, and an avid writer, Dr. Balasubramaniam has authored several articles on developmental issues in Kannada and English, including his own blog and 5 books. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe his words will speak for himself. May I request Dr. Balasubramaniam to please address the gathering.
Dr. Shantaram, Dr. Natarajan, faculty, students of TAPME. At the outset, I think